Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Liz Krueger, State Senator. Welcome to my first of 3 parts virtual senior resource fair on Zoom and Facebook. So we used to do this in person, maybe 700-800 of us all together on the bottom floor of Temple Emmanuel once a year. But because of the pandemic and the completely unrealistic concept of putting 700 or 800 people together in one space, we're trying for the second year in a row an approach we're doing online, spread out over 3 days. And today's topics are exercise, nutrition, and meditation. And as you see, we'll have quite a few presenters with different things that they are asking you to do and participate in at a really fast pace. So remember before computers when we had things called speed dating? I'm thinking this is speed meditation, speed exercise, and speed nutrition. But we were very successful last year, and so we definitely wanted to try it again this year. So first, welcome everyone. Before I move to the proceedings, I want you to be aware we have closed captioning available. As a viewer, you have to activate closed captioning to view the text on your device. If you're using Zoom, click on Live Transcript in the meeting controls to start viewing closed captionings. And if you're on Facebook Live, you'll see the setting button in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. Click Closed Caption CC to start viewing the closed captioning. Before we move into our guests, I just do a few announcements. I do this at every event because everything's changing all the time. So 1, the FDA Advisory Committee last week took a vote on recommendations for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson booster shots. The Advisory Council voted 19-0 to authorize a booster shot of the Moderna vaccine for individuals aged 65 and older, individuals aged 18 to 64 who have underlying medical conditions putting them at higher risk for severe illness due to COVID-19, and for individuals 18 to 64 who are in high-risk occupations and institutions like working in healthcare. For Johnson & Johnson, the FDA Advisory Council also voted 19-0 to authorize all individuals 18 plus who received a Johnson & Johnson vaccination to receive a booster shot 2 months or later after their first dose. Public health officials are urging everyone to get a flu shot this year. You can find locations where flu shots are being administered by calling 311 or texting flu to 877-877. So it's just texting the word flu, 877-877, or using the online COVID-19 and flu vaccine finder it'll be up in chat, vaccinefinder.nyc.gov. It's particularly important because we want to protect people from the flu because, of course, COVID is also a disease that disproportionately impacts the respiratory system as the flu does. So nobody wants to end up with one triggering the other. So the safest, obvious answer is get vaccinated for both. Now we're going to move to this afternoon's session of the Senior Resource Fair. Again, exercise, nutrition, and meditation. I want to start off by thanking Asphalt Green, Mount Sinai, Older Adults Technology Services, and the 92nd Street Y for providing wonderful presenters for you today. You should also know that this event is being recorded. Everyone who RSVP'd for this afternoon's event will receive an email of a link to the video a couple days after the event. Others can get access to the tape in other ways. General overview. Today we're having the first session of my 3-part Senior Resource Fair. Again, 14 years we held it in the wonderful Temple Emmanuel with over 100 organizations providing services for older adults and their caregivers. Because of COVID, we can't use that route for now. Hopefully by next year. So our first section will focus on exercise, nutrition, meditation, and how each can contribute to our mental and physical well-being as we age. We also still have our senior resource guide that we always used to hand out at our resource fair. So if you'd like a copy, please reach out to my office. I hope you're wearing comfortable clothes and are ready to participate actively in today's event. In order to get additional information about the organizations, please go to the Senior Resource Fair webpage at my website, www.lizkrueger.com/SRF, Senior Resource Fair. First, we're going to hear from Abby Kaufman, who is a pro trainer and group fitness instructor at Asphalt Green. Abby will talk about the importance of exercise to keep us healthy and well as we age. Then we'll be hearing from Pratigya Singh, who is a registered dietitian at Mount Sinai, and she will share information about the importance of good nutrition. Following Ms. Singh, Abby Kaufman will come back to demonstrate yoga with a chair. Then we'll step it up a notch with Kaz, who is a fitness team leader and technology instructor at Older Adults Technology Services, which a lot of us know as OATS. And he will provide a stretch demonstration. After Kaz, we'll be joined by Dalit Agronin, a personal trainer and group fitness instructor at the 92nd Street Y, who will lead you through a lively exercise demonstration. And then our final presenter will be Madeline Frundlich, who is a fitness instructor and personal trainer at Asphalt Green. Madeline will cool us down, discuss the importance of meditation, and take us through a guided meditation. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Abby Kaufman. Hi, Abby.
Thank you so much, Senator Krueger. It's such an honor to be here representing Asphalt Green again, even if it is a virtual. Been to the event many times at Temple Emmanuel as well. So we miss all of you live, but we're so happy to be here and be able to present to you from here. Today, just to start us off, I want to talk to you about the importance of exercise. I think if we all think about it for just a moment, we all know how important exercise is. And some of you probably have been lifelong exercisers. And if you are a lifelong exerciser, you're already ahead of the game. If you're someone maybe who hasn't exercised that much since high school, then you're really the person that I want to connect with today. Our purpose for exercising is not just about punishment. I remember long ago we were teaching somebody in class and we made it sound like, oh, well, if you don't do this, then you're going to have to do something else. And she turned to me and she said, why are you making it sound like a punishment? And I thought, you're so right. We have the great fortune to be able to exercise, and exercise should be fun. Think about the last time you did exercise and how great you felt afterwards. Tap into that. So of course we know that exercise is going to give us a benefit to our overall physical health. One thing that Senator Krueger just mentioned about how the flu season and COVID, this can all attack the cardiorespiratory system. If you have strong lungs and strong heart from exercising, you're going to be able to recuperate a lot faster if, heaven forbid, you have any kind of illness. So exercising can definitely help you to stay strong physically. If you're someone who's looking to manage your weight or maybe lose some weight, then of course exercising can be helpful with that as well. Healthy muscles mean healthy bones. So if you're trying to stave off osteoporosis or osteopenia, then making sure that you're moving your muscles, which then contact your bones, that's going to definitely help you to stay. By the way, if you have osteopenia and you're working hard with your muscles, you could definitely stay in osteopenia without necessarily going into osteoporosis. So that's a really important one. As we mentioned, cardiovascular and respiratory health, even without the flu season or any other difficulties, being able to use your full breathing apparatus is so important. Let's talk about mental outlook, right? When we exercise, we release endorphins and we start to feel better. We have a more positive mental outlook. We can also help prevent falls. So being strong in your physical body is going to help you with your proprioception as you're walking down the street and navigating some of those potholes in New York City. So being able to prevent falls, super important. You may have difficulty sleeping at night. So exercise can definitely help you to fall asleep at night when you're feeling tired and well worked out. You're going to sleep better. If you have hypertension, this can help to manage your hypertension. It can also help you to focus and be more energetic. So if you notice that sometimes you walk into a room and you're not quite sure why you did what you were looking for, exercising can help you not to walk into the room and not know what you're doing. But for me, one of the most important ones, and one of the reasons why we're here today, is about community, right? So even if you're working out on an online, Asphalt Green has had online programming. I know that Senior Planet has online fitness. All of these, even though we can't necessarily meet physically face to face, we can definitely continue to feel that community even online. Asphalt Green is currently giving in-person classes, so we have that option available for you. But even if you can't do that, the community that we have online or in person is one of the best reasons to work out. So from there, I just want to mention that every single person on this call today is an expert in fitness to help older adults with their fitness goals. So whatever it is that you like to do, whether it's yoga or qigong or other kinds of aerobic activity, find something that you like to do. And that will be your key to being successful with your fitness program. Find something that you like to do, enjoy it, just keep moving. That's the most important thing. If you don't move it, you will lose it. So don't lose it, keep moving and find joy and pleasure. Find some activity that you really like to do. Thank you again so much. And we'll see you in a little bit to do our chair yoga.
Thank you very much, Abby. And next we're going to hear from Pratigya Singh, who's a registered dietitian, and she's going to talk about the importance of good nutrition as we age. Hi, Pratigya.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Senator Krueger. So I just want to touch base on some overarching nutrition themes. Am I able to share my screen? I'll do that right now. Sorry, give me one moment. And can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, we'll go into the slide here. Sorry, just give me one moment to get the presentation up. Okay, so here we are, nutrition and healthful aging. Again, these are very, general themes that I think can apply for everyone. And then if you have individual questions, we can definitely talk about those.
Pratigya, you just have a little pop-up window there. If you could close that, about Google Drive on the upper right.
Apologies, there you go. Thank you. Okay, so today we'll be touching on, what is nutrition, the types of nutrients that we want to consume every day, and what the MyPlate model is for healthful eating, factors that influence our nutrition status as we age, overcoming barriers to adequate nutrition status, and some resources that Mount Sinai has available to everyone, in New York and outside New York, if you so choose. There we go. So the general definition of nutrition, there's a few different definitions out there. The one that I like the most is the middle one, which is the process for taking in and providing and obtaining the food necessary for health, growth, and maintenance. So nutrition is what is our fuel for daily living. It's involved in our growth, in metabolism, in repairing any damaged tissues. So it's definitely really important. And by, virtue of the fact that we eat food 3 to 5 to 6 times a day, it takes up a large part of our day. And so it's important to think about what we're putting into our body. So this is what some of you may have seen before, is called the MyPlate model. I really like this infographic from the Harvard School of Public Health because it helps break down what the different kinds of nutrients are. When you hear people talk about nutrition, there's two kinds of nutrition that we kind of break our categories into. Our macronutrients, which are carbs or starches. There are fats like oil, butter, things like that. And protein, so your chicken, your fish, your eggs, your tofu, lentils. And then within those macronutrients is also where you find your micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, calcium. So those are all ingredients that we find inside of our macronutrients. We also see hydration part of this model, and that is of utmost importance for people of all ages, of course, but especially as our bodies age. A free resource that gives more information about different components of this healthy eating model is myplate.gov. So say there's a particular micronutrient that you may want to eat more or less of. For example, as we age, sometimes there are increased risk of cardiac issues such as hypertension, hyperlipidemia. There are more infographics for how you can better control, say, your sodium or your triglyceride intake. But overall, this is kind of a model that works for an average person. So we want half of our plate to be fruits and vegetables. Sometimes we can even say just half of it as vegetables. And by vegetables, we mean non-starchy vegetables. So, spinach, broccoli, carrots, cabbage, peppers. And please remember, potatoes do not count as a vegetable. Unfortunately, those do fall into the whole grain or starch category, which is a quarter of our plate. Other things could be rice, pasta, bread, whatever starches you do like. What we recommend is trying to choose the whole grain version, or the, say, whole wheat. So say whole wheat bread instead of white bread, brown rice instead of white rice, the whole wheat pasta instead of the regular refined pasta. And then we want a quarter of our plate to be a healthy or a lean protein. So that could be your fish, your poultry. If you follow a vegetarian diet, it could be beans, tofu. If you eat cheese, it could be your cheeses. So that's kind of what takes up the last quarter of our plate. And one thing that we do want to try and limit, according to WHO recommendations, is our intake of red meat, because it can lead to, cardiac issues or increased health risk factors for other chronic conditions as we age. So what are some of the barriers to our nutritional status? As our bodies age, they experience changes in metabolism. Some people can experience a decrease in appetite or sensory changes. Food begins to taste different or smell different. Changes in digestion, or chronic diseases such as some of the ones I mentioned before, like hyperlipidemia, hypertension, diabetes, or renal decline in renal function. Those are some of the ones that we hear about most. And other issues or other barriers could be changes in dentition, so maybe some teeth missing or poorly fitted dentures, socioeconomic status and accessibility. These are all barriers that can affect what we eat in a day. So some small ways, but impactful ways that we can kind of overcome these barriers is, say we have changes in metabolism and we find that as we age, we have less of an appetite or are unable to have the same volume of food that we were able to have before. We can try consuming smaller meals more frequently. So your plate can be in the same proportion as what we saw before. You can still have half vegetables, you can still have a quarter of protein, you can still have a quarter of your starches, but on a smaller plate, and have that more frequently throughout the day. Sometimes that's a more manageable goal to attain. And even within those small frequent meals, make sure that you choose nutrient dense options. So for example, a Greek yogurt, low fat or low sodium string cheese, having some unsweetened nut butter on a piece of whole wheat toast. Those are really nutrient dense options that can go a long way. It's important to, try to experiment, have a variety of foods in your diet. So, and that includes a variety of herbs and spices to flavor your meals, and trying to expand beyond flavoring with solely salt. Adequate fiber intake is extremely important as our bodies age because our digestion can change. So fiber we want in general, but also soluble fiber. So things, that's what you find in applesauce or in the actual meat of an apple. And it's what's commonly found in any laxative or supplement or digestive aids you may take, such as Miralax or Senna. Or Metamucil cookies or powder. They use a soluble fiber to help your system move along, to help things flow. Along with adequate fiber, hydration is really important. So fiber and water work together. So if you're increasing your fiber intake at any point, it's important to, as long as it's okay with your doctor or your dietitian, you also increase your water intake within parameters that are healthy for you. If you're on any sort of fluid restriction, please be mindful of that. Meal planning can be really helpful in overcoming these barriers because they kind of are able to set, what you're able to access for the week and what you're able to have and plan accordingly and maybe fill any gaps. Always follow any recommended nutrition parameters. I touched on that with hydration. But if, say, you are on a sodium restriction or a carbohydrate or sugar restriction, please be mindful of that because it can help us, combat chronic diseases. It can help combat any changes in metabolism that we may experience as we age. If you are experiencing issues with dentition, you may want to try altering the texture of your foods. For example, having a smoothie instead of, really hard, crunchy toast can be easier, and you can still get all your nutrients in that way. It's also really important because we don't want you to be at increased risk for aspiration or choking if you're unable to break down the foods with your teeth, because that's our first step of digestion. So you can just break them down beforehand or change the texture to one that's easier or safer for you to eat. And that way you're not avoiding foods just because of texture. And then healthful convenience foods. And by this, I mean sometimes fresh produce, fresh vegetables, they can be hard to come by, especially in New York. We don't always have access in certain neighborhoods to fresh veggies and fruits, but we still recommend that you have half your plate. So what do? I always say frozen fruits and veggies are just as good as fresh. So you don't need to, worry about if I can't get fresh, what do I do and not eat them? Frozen's just fine. If you do need to rely on canned goods, I would always look for the low sodium or no sodium option and canned in water, not oil. And then, other options that you have could be in terms of accessibility or having groceries delivered. Almost every grocery chain does deliver groceries these days, especially after COVID. They all started delivering more regularly. And then there's always services like Meals on Wheels and God's Love We Deliver. God's Love We Deliver in particular does help tailor meals to any chronic conditions that you may have. So for example, like we talked about, if you have a sodium restriction or a sugar restriction, they can help tailor meals to that. So those are a few of your options to overcoming common barriers to adequate nutrition. And here we have some services that are available at Mount Sinai. We have clinical outpatient services. So this is something, if you just type into Google, Mount Sinai Clinical Nutrition Services, this will come up as one of your outpatient options. And there's a list of sources there for different kinds of chronic disease states or just primary care if you want to meet with someone to help you with meal planning or figuring out what resources you may have available to you. And if you do have Medicare Part B, it does cover a certain number of minutes or sessions for those individuals with diabetes or kidney disease or have recently had a kidney transplant. And more information can be found at eatrightpro.org about that for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very helpful. And now we're going to jump back to Abby Kaufman, demonstrating yoga with a chair.
Hi again, everyone. So I have a theory. We don't really need, most of us really don't need to sit in a chair for exercise. I know that there are a lot of programs that do offer that, but I like to start off with the assumption that you can at least stand. And you can use your chair for so many different ways in doing yoga. So we're going to start today, and please know that if you do need to sit, of course you can sit, but for now, If you are able to stand, then you can come up and stand and just have your chair right nearby in case you want it. We're going to start first just by bringing the arms alongside the body and inhale and lift the arms up. Now you're going to lift the arms up as high as you can and then bring the arms down. Take your whole inhale. So this is a great way to work that respiratory system we were talking about. Exhale, bring the arms back down. And one more time, inhale and lift. And exhale and bring the arms down. Great. So you probably are familiar with warrior poses in yoga. We have warrior 1, warrior 2, peaceful warrior, and then we have a whole vinyasa set. But we're going to start first by working through warrior poses. And I'm going to start first with a standing variation. So we're going to bring the right foot underneath the chair. So if you have a chair like this, that's the perfect chair. But if you have just any other variation of a chair is fine. Make sure that your floor is not slippery. So if you have a mat or a rug, that's a great thing to place just to make sure. If not, you can place your chair right up against a wall so it doesn't slide anywhere. Okay, so the right foot is going to come forward and we're going to step the left foot back. Now, you might be able to see that I've turned my left foot out to the left side so that I'm really stable in my foundation. I'm going to turn to face the back of the chair and I can keep one hand on the chair, the right hand, and just lift the left arm up. And if I feel comfortable, I can lift both arms up. And this is what we would call warrior 1. Then I'm going to open my arms out into a T shape facing to my left and open up. This is called warrior 2. Then we reach back and take that left arm down the left leg as we reach the right arm up. And remember, you can always keep that hand on the chair in case you feel a little unstable. Then we're going to come back into that warrior 2 position, maybe with or without both hands, and then bring both hands to the back of the chair and step forward. We'll repeat on the other side. So I'm going to turn so that you can see me, but you can stay facing forward. We're going to take the left foot and bring it in the back of the chair, and the right leg is going to be long and the right toes facing a little bit out to the right side. Again, your ribs and your hips are going to face the back of the chair, one or both hands, so you can keep your left hand on the chair and lift your right arm up. If you feel comfortable, you can lift both arms up. Then we open out, turning to face to the right. So the left knee is still facing the back of the chair as your arms come out into a T shape. And then we reach back. Great. And then we come back into that T shape, that warrior 2, and bring the hands down. All right, so let's look at that whole series from a seated position. So you can take, which I also like to do because in a seated position, you get a little bit deeper into the hip joint. So we're going to sit towards the edge of the seat and we'll start on the right side. So we're going to turn, I'm going to turn my right foot over to the right side and take my left leg back behind me. Now the left leg is out behind me, but the left knee could be bent or it could be straighter, depending on your body. Here we'd be able to lift both arms up. And then we're going to turn to face the left side, keeping this right knee pointing forward, coming back into that T shape with the arms. Now you may have made a slight adjustment with your left leg, that's fine. We're going to slide the left hand down the left leg as we reach that right arm up, looking up, and then come back into that T shape and bring it down. We'll switch over to the other side. So the left knee now is facing to the left side. This right leg replaces where the left one was before. The knee could be bent or leg could be straighter, depending on your body. We lift both arms up. That's a nice breath in, and then we'll open up and come into that T-shaped warrior 2 pose. We'll inhale and reach back for peaceful warrior. And then we'll exhale back into that warrior 2 position. Then bring the hands back down. Great. Let's look at another pose from a standing position. So from here, we're going to come back to bring the chair to use as a prop. I'm going to slide the right foot alongside the chair, in between the front and back leg of the chair. Then you're going to bring both hands onto the seat of the chair as you step your left foot back, trying to bring that left leg nice and long. As you hold here, try to squeeze your right leg into the side of the chair. And then if it works for you, you can bring your forearms to the seat of the chair. And we hold this pose. This is a variation of pigeon pose. Hold and breathe. And then you can bring your hands back and then take a nice stretch by straightening the right leg. You can dig your right heel into the floor and lift the right toes. Now, I'm not talking too much about breathing. You'll hear more about that from Madeline later. But breathing, of course, is a very important part of yoga. Let's do the other side, and then I'll show you how to do this also from a seated position. So once again, we're going to bring the foot in between the front and back leg. This time it'll be the left foot. Hands to the seat of the chair as you step the right leg back. Try to bring that right leg as straight as possible. Your hands can stay on the chair, or for a little more intensity of the stretch, you can bring your forearms to the chair. From here, you're going to squeeze that right leg, the left leg in and get a nice stretch in the center of your hip, modulating to your own body. And then you can bring your hands back and we straighten through that left leg, dig the left heel into the floor, lifting the left toes for a nice lengthening going down the back of your left leg. One thing that happens as we become more sedentary, which all of us have been through COVID, is that when we sit, we actually get a little tighter in those hamstrings. To demonstrate that same pose from a seated position, we're going to sit down and bring our seat towards the edge of the seat, bring our legs out long. I like to give a little tap first. Then we bring the right ankle over the left thigh and bring the left foot to the floor if possible. Otherwise, you can keep the left leg straight. From here, you can hold on to the right shin with your right hand, lift the left arm up and reach over in towards the right side. So it's a variation of a pigeon or figure four stretch. This is a great stretch if you're someone who tends to get a little of that sciatica kind of feeling in the back of the leg. Great. Coming back into the center, you can fold forward if that works for you. For some people, that feels really nice stretch in the lower back, but more importantly, is for the hip. That may or may not be very intense. So if it's too intense, of course, you just can stay seated. Let's switch the legs. So taking that leg out, giving a little tap, maybe on the side, and then you'll take the left ankle and try to bring it over the right thigh. If it doesn't work for you to rebend the right knee, you can keep that leg straight and hold on to your shin with your left hand. Otherwise, you can rebend that right knee, sitting up nice and tall, holding the left shin with the left hand, reaching that right arm up and now leaning into the left side. And you can use that left elbow to give you a little bit more intensity of the stretch if that works for you. Remember that yoga is really about the poses coming to you, not you trying to fit yourself into the poses. Come forward if that feels good for you. And then coming back up. Beautiful. Let's come back to sit and we'll inhale and lift the arms up. Let's interlace the fingertips above the head, and you could be doing this seated or standing. Bend your elbows and circle overhead, little halo pose for you. As you do that, feel what's happening in your shoulder joint and notice if that's feeling good or if it's feeling any tightness. Take another little circle in the other direction and release. I hope that's piqued your interest a little bit in some yoga, and I'm so excited to have you explore some more movement with the other professionals on the call. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Abby. All right, so now we've stretched, and now we're gonna kick it up a bit with Kaz Castro, who's the team fitness instructor at OATS. Hi, Kaz.
Hi. How's everybody? Okay, thank you, everyone. So let's start our stretching. I usually start my stretching exercises at OATS in the morning. We start by warming up our hands. We start warming up the body and stimulating the meridians, the energy channels in the body. And there's hundreds of meridians within our hands and within our whole body. So hop a couple of times And this self-massage we do before the stretch helps boost up the immune system and circulatory system. So we tap the palms, we tap the fingertips, we interlace the fingers. Okay, we do a chopping and wrist tapping. We massage each finger because each finger is related to an organ. The thumb, for example, is related to the stomach and the spleen. The index finger, if you massage your index finger, is related to your kidneys and bladder. The middle finger is related to liver and gallbladder. Massage them. It's recommended to massage them 2 minutes, but we're not going to do it today. The ring finger is good for the lungs and colon. It's massaging each one. And the pinky is heart and small intestines. Okay, so once you've done that, you start massaging your right arm. I'm going to be your mirror. So you start massaging your right arm from your shoulder. If you massage the inside, this has to do with the lungs and heart channels. And tapping under the armpit is lymphatics and spleen. Okay, and I'm going roughly pretty fast speed. If you have enough time, you can dedicate at least 2 minutes on each extreme, on each so again, you tap the arms, then you go to your head, you tap the skull all the way around, tapping with your fingertips, stimulating the brain cells behind the neck, around the neck to your cheeks. So this is good for your complexion. Tap the temples, your forehead, and then you go to your ears. The ears have hundreds of meridians. There's hundreds of meridians according to Chinese medicine. And when you massage your ears, you're stimulating an internal organ within your body, okay? You go to your chest, heart, the lungs, the stomach, the internal organs, the reproductive organs. You go to each leg, you're all the way down to your instep, to your calves. There's a major acupressure point right here on the side. And you do the same thing on this side, okay? And last but not least, you go to your bums, to your kidneys, okay? And if you notice, you'll feel that the body has warmed up. There's a tingling sensation. There's a tingling sensation, and it helps you boost up the immune system and circulatory system. It'll help you for your stretch. So now let's take a deep breath in. I like to gather the life force energy around us, above us, and bring the hands right to the heart center. Interlace the fingers and stretch the fingers out. And then I want you to inhale, reach, and elongate the spine. And hold this pose maybe for 5 seconds as you breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release and just relax and bring your arms down. Okay, let's nod our head left and right so we warm up the neck muscles. Usually our neck sometimes is stiff. You have to move the body. And like one of the members said, if you don't use it, you lose it. So let's move our head up and down. Nodding up and down, and stretching can improve your posture and your overall health. So just move your head around. Now let's shrug each shoulder one at a time, left and right. It also improves your range of motion, prevents loss of range of motion also, and can decrease any back pain. Now let's sweep our left arm up to our ear, take a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, lean over to your right side and feel that nice stretch. Okay, feel the nice stretch, breathe, stretching. And stretching also decreases any soreness in the body. And now before we bring our left arm down, place it right here, your left hand on your right temple, and lean your head over to your ear. And extend your right arm down. You feel that stretch in the neck muscles. Okay, and then slowly release and let go. And then let's repeat that again. Let's bring our right arm up. We take a deep breath in. And as we inhale and then release, exhale, we lean over to the left side and hold. Hold and breathe, and be mindful of the breath all the time. Don't let the mind drift off. Remember, choose stretching over stressing. Okay, keep that in mind. Choose stretching over stressing. And now place your right hand on your left temple and lean it over. And feel that nice stretch. Release, relax, and let go. Okay? And then relax and bring it down. Now again, let's sweep our arms up. Take another deep breath in as we gather the life force energy around us, above us, and bring it right into our heart center. From the heart center, let's shoot our hands out like this, and open, expand your arms out like you're gonna give a big hug. Now hands are out and open and close your hands. So you're fanning your fingers out and clenching your fist, okay? And just breathe as you observe this, just breathe and feel the fingers. Now, place your hands on your shoulders and move your elbows forward. Move your elbows slowly forward, keeping all your joints loose and relaxed. But you must breathe, be mindful with the breathing. Be in the now, all right? Now, from this position, let's open up to a cactus arms. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, squeeze the balloon and bring your arms, your forearms together. As you exhale, then inhale, open and expand your chest. Open your heart and lung channels, looking up to the sky, to the ceiling. And then exhale, squeeze the balloon as you breathe. And one more time, let's do this again. Inhale and open the heart and lung channels. And then exhale and release and let go. Okay, now place your hands on your knees. Let's move our torso around, observing, breathing, warming up the hip joint. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. Maybe 3 or 5 rotations. Okay, and now let's grab our right shin and pull the knee up to your armpit. So I'm gonna turn my angle a little bit and pull the knee up to your armpit and twirl your foot a couple of times. 3 times to the left or 3 times to the right, clockwise or counterclockwise. All right, now extend your right leg out. All right, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, try to touch your toes. And if you can't touch your toes, touch your ankle, touch your instep, touch your shins. Just reach down, relax, and let go. And breathe. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then come back up. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, bring it back down. And pull the leg in. All right. And now let's grab the left shin, pull it up, right? And twirl the foot a couple of times, clockwise and counterclockwise. All right. And then extend your leg out, sweep your arms up, align them with your ears. And then as you exhale, try to reach down and touch your toes. If not your toes, touch your instep, your ankles, your shins, and just breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, we go up, and exhale, we come back down. Okay? Now let's do something we call the helicopter twist. So we're gonna reach out, take a deep breath. And as we exhale, turn your torso to the right side and look over your right shoulder and hold that pose. Hold the pose, observe the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. And we're gonna repeat the same movement on the other side. So let's turn and twist. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Hold the pose, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back, okay? Now take a deep breath in, gather the life force energy around you, above you, back into your heart. And then again, shoot your hands up, palms facing the screen of your device. And then I just want you to surrender and bow down and try to touch the top of your toes or your insteps and just relax in a ragdoll pose. Just relax, breathe. And then slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, come up. 1 vertebrae at a time into your upright position. Shrug your shoulders a couple of times. Breathe and observe. And remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaz. I feel great after doing those. All right, our next presenter is Dalit Agronin, personal trainer, group fitness instructor for the 92nd Street Y, with more exercise demonstration. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. So we'll do most of this stuff standing, and we'll come into a chair-ish towards the end. I'm just going to wiggle this guy around, still getting used to so everyone can see me. We'll start with a little bit of a warm-up. So we've done a lot of like warming up. We'll just warm up the full body. So nice and slow. I want us all to reach our arms up towards the ceiling, and then you'll reach down towards the floor. Any variation that you have. Yeah, so the arms will come up. Maybe if there's something near you, you'll reach just down towards your table or chair, nice and slow. This is going to start to get the hamstrings in a little bit as you reach up and then down. Let's do 2 more of those. So as we move through some exercise, we'll go through the sequences a few times just to start to build strength. Your body kind of understands what's happening the first or second time, and it's really like the third time when you get into it. We have 1 more, reach the arms up, and then reach them back down. Okay, let us all just widen your feet here. So we want them like a little bit more than hips width distance. So if you just look down and you see your feet underneath your hips, you'll just widen them a little bit. Arms are gonna go out to the sides. Right hand is going to reach for the right. The left toes come back up to center. Left hand will reach for the right toes. So just starting like a little bit of oppositional energy, moving from side to side. If you're feeling like stress or anything tight, just give it a little bit of a shake, maybe a little bit of a neck roll. We're going to do 1 more each side. And then last one. Great. Okay, from here, bring your hands onto your hips. If you have something near you, if balance is like a challenge for you, which it is for everyone, you can hold on to something, no stress. If you want to just give it a whirl with your hands on your hips, we're just going to make some little hip circles, yeah? So your right knee is going to open out to the right side, come back down to center. We have 4 more of those. So the knee is going to lift and then open and then come back down. 3 more. So if you are like falling all over the place, you want to hold on, just bring your opposite hand over there. Last time. And then we're going to reverse it. So the right knee is going to open to the right, back to center. Yeah, you might get some little hip pops. Totally okay. We have about 3 more. Okay, last one. And then we're going to take it on the other side. Yeah, so the left knee is just going to open out to the left, come back down. Yeah, just make sure you're still breathing. So we've done kind of all of that stretching, breathing work before this. We want to use all the things we just worked on just to keep the body like from tensing up. We're going to reverse it, left knee in and out. Yeah, balance, especially as we get older, but in general, balance is really important just to help continue to feel like we're building our strength with the right and the left side. So a lot of times maybe we feel imbalanced on one leg versus the other. So I like to bring in a lot of single leg type balance stuff as we kind of build the strength. So we have a little bit of a balance exercise. Yeah, arms can be forward or you can hold on to something. All we're going to do here, right leg is going to lift up and come back down. It's a super small motion. I want you to think like the foot's going off the floor, maybe a foot. This is 4. We're going to do 6. Yeah, so 2 more. We have 1 more. Good. Bring your right foot down. We'll do it on the left side. So again, if that felt really stressful, you hold on. You're just going to bring the leg up and down. Yeah. Starting to feel stability on your right side. Maybe the ankle's feeling a little bit wobbly. That is okay. No stress. 1 more. Great. Okay. From here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Fun little balance exercise as well. I just want you to lift. Hopefully we can see my heels. Your heels off the floor. And then you'll bring them right back down. We have 10 of those. Maybe you have a short ceiling like I do and you're touching your wall. Just notice if your shoulders are kind of like this and you're lifting the heels up with your shoulders up to your ears. Try to see if you can open up the chest slightly. Think about the lift coming from your back rather than from the shoulders. 2 more. 1 more. Great, shake that out for a quick little second. I'm timing these so I stick to the time. And so we'll shake it out for 5 seconds, and then we have those 3 exercises one more time. Yeah, so we're kind of bringing in some repetition with the body. Really important in exercise that we move through things a couple of times. So the first one, in case you forgot, hands on your hips, we have those knee circles. Yeah, 5 and then 5 and then 5 and then 5. So we'll start them. Your right knee is going to open out. Come right back down again. Maybe you balance, maybe you don't. Good, you have 2 more. Option to like play with the hands if they're going anywhere you want. Now we reverse it. And if you're like doing this in your house and you want to be jamming, you can put some music on if that will help bring in the balance. Maybe it won't help the balance, but you'll have more fun, and that's okay too. Let's do one more. Okay, left side, left knee is going to open. Yeah, maybe you got the pops going on. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Okay, we reverse it, knee is going to open out and then back in. Yeah, the reverse direction is always a little bit tricky because you're going the opposite way that your kind of hips want to go. So make sure you're not turning the whole body to do it. You just think about the hip. Yes, and also like the knee, like there's a string on this guy and it's bringing you forward. Very cool. Arms come forward, we leg lift 6 times right, 6 times left. Again, you can hold on to something, maybe not. Right leg forward and back. Okay, we have 2 more. Actually, now we have 2 more. I'm not the best counter. Last one, good, other side. If you're on your own tempo with counting, take your own tempo. We have those heel lifts after, yeah? So this is 3, 4, 2 more. Last one, great. Arms will reach up. If you want to shake it out, shake it out. We lift the heels up and down. Yep. And if you feel like the arms are really messing you up, you bring the arms down, starting to just draw some energy into the calf muscles, your quads, your ankles. The arms up will just bring the heart rate up a little bit, add in some more balance challenge. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna do 2 things last before we are done. If you have a chair, we're gonna practice just some chair squats. So I'll do it from facing this way so you can see. You're gonna have your knees, hips, toes all aligned. All I want you to do is you're just gonna sit the booty down like you're sitting into a chair. Come right back up. Yeah, we want to avoid just kind of like sitting everything down and taking like a rest. The challenge for us is just to almost tap the chair and then you come right back up. So if you haven't started, we're gonna try for 5. I'll face this way here. You wanna make sure most of the weight is in your toes. Try to keep the knees in line with the ankles. This is a pretty tricky one. I'm gonna rotate again so you see me. We have 2 more. Last one. And rest. Good, shake it out. We won't do those again. Last thing we're gonna do are some wall push-ups, yeah? So these are like some exercises you can do at home if you haven't been getting out or you just don't feel like you wanna be in person or doing anything. Chair squats are really awesome. And then we have some wall push-ups, which are great. So if you have a wall, I want us to just find a wall quickly. I'm gonna do it on here, just so everyone can see me. Hands are gonna go up against your wall in line with your shoulders, yeah? From here, you just walk your feet back so you're making a nice standing plank. Hopefully I don't push this guy over. And then from here, you just bend your elbows. Think about sending them to the back diagonal as it goes flying, and then you press it back up, yeah? So from here, we press back with the elbows. We send it back up, yeah? So good lesson is use something like a wall that's pretty stable. We have 2 more. Okay, last one. And then slowly come out of it. Give it a little shake, reach the arms up, and then shake it out. Nice work, everyone.
Thank you. I'm very glad you did not have your bookshelf fall down on you. That would have not been good. Thank you. And our last presenter is Madeline Friedlich, who is a fitness instructor and personal trainer and teaches guided meditation. And that's what she's going to help us with today, explaining a bit about guided meditation's benefits and then leading us through a guided meditation. Hi, Madeline.
Hi, thank you so much, Senator. What a wonderful group of exercise professionals to work us through a wonderful opportunity to really move the body. So we'll move into meditation now. And as you see on the slide, there are many benefits of meditation. I'll just highlight a few. We know that when we regularly practice meditation, we can see improvements in our memory and mental clarity. Regular meditation can also help shorten the time it takes to fall asleep and can improve sleep quality. And perhaps especially important is that meditation can help us better understand ourselves, help us find our true selves, and increase our positive feelings and actions toward other people in our lives. So with those benefits and others in mind, let me just invite you now to settle into a comfortable seat. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes or gaze softly at the floor. Just let your mouth and jaw relax naturally without any effort. And as you sit down, just notice what thoughts might be occupying your mind. Are you thinking about something that happened this afternoon or what you might perhaps need to do later today? So just notice these thoughts without judgment, and then just let the thoughts go and bring your attention to your breathing. And let's begin by taking some deep cleansing breaths by breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. So as you breathe in through your nose, just allow your chest to rise, your belly to soften, and then breathe out through the mouth. You can just gently curl the mouth and blow the breath out, blowing the breath out fully. So breathing in, imagine your lungs are filling up like balloons, and then breathing out once again through the mouth to release the breath fully. Let's do that one more time. Nice full deep breath in, body expands and rises, and long full deep breath out, blowing that breath out through the mouth as you release the breath from your body. And now just return to your natural pattern of breathing without trying to control the breath at all. And begin to just connect with your environment. So first notice any sounds around you. You may hear the hum of the ventilation system or maybe noises from the street. You might even be able to notice the sound of your breath. So just bring those sounds into your consciousness. Now feel yourself in your environment. So just notice how your seat presses down into the chair or the sofa on which you're seated. Feel your feet as they touch the floor. You might even feel the softness of the air on your skin. And from here, begin to gently scan your body and allow each part of your body to relax. So start with the soles of your feet and then gently allow your scan to move upward. So just noticing and relaxing your calves, your knees, your thighs. Let your hips be nice and heavy as you sit. And then continue your scan, just allowing relaxation in the back of your body. And then through the front of your upper body, relaxing your belly, your chest, softening through your shoulders, relaxing the arms, the hands, the fingers. And then bringing that sense of scanning and relaxation to your neck and throat. And then moving right up to your face. And just notice if you're holding any tension in your forehead, the little muscles around your eyes and mouth, and your jaw. So just complete your scan by just gently moving through the body with a final scan, just noticing if you're holding any tension anywhere in your body. And if you find those places, just send your breath there, just encouraging your body to relax and to release. Now let's focus our breathing on a simple mantra. So as you breathe in, just repeat breathing in silently to yourself. And as you breathe out, repeat breathing out silently to yourself. So breathe easily and effortlessly and use that gentle mantra to allow yourself to release more into the present moment with your focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out, and breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. And now just continue that gentle mantra just a few more times on your own, following your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And now release this mantra and just allow your mind to go free. Now let's just take a moment and begin to create a sense of being calm and peaceful and focused. So first, just imagine in your mind what you would be seeing in a state of calmness and peacefulness. Allow yourself time to connect with these visual images of calm and peace. And now imagine what you would be hearing in a state of calmness and peacefulness. And connect with the sounds that you are hearing. And now imagine how you might be feeling in a calm, peaceful, and focused state. And allow yourself to connect with these feelings fully and deeply. And now bring your awareness back to your body. Feel the seat on the chair. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice any sounds that you hear. Take your time. You can slowly flutter the eyes open if they're closed. And begin to make gentle movements to softly waken the body from your meditation practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Once again, a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And now let us return to our connections with others that are joining us at this event, and we'll return to the center. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madeline. Thank you all for your presentations and your demonstrations. And now we have time for a few questions that people have submitted. So one of them is, do any of your sites that provide exercise programs offer silver sneakers options? I'm not sure that is an option somebody can do with an organization. I know they're online. Does anyone know?
At Asphalt Green, we do not provide silver sneakers. I believe that some of the YMCAs, however, do.
Okay. But I don't, nobody else knows about it now. I know it's an online option.
So silver sneakers, in several gyms, the gyms get reimbursed for offering silver sneakers. Asphalt Green is already a 501c3, so I don't know if they're eligible for that, but we do have a lot of senior programming. Almost all of our daytime classes are geared towards older adults. And I also noticed that there's a warm water class question about that. We do offer warm water classes as well at Asphalt Green for whoever wants to take it, but specifically for us.
Great. And then there was another question about, for those of you who are offering classes, can you give me an estimate of what the classes cost? I guess I'll ask Asphalt Green and then 92nd Street Y and then Kaz.
So Asphalt Green has a drop-in class rate right now at $15 a class. So you don't have to be a member to take classes at Asphalt Green. However, we do offer a day membership. So that's an 8:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the afternoon membership. That's a different price from the 7-day-a-week membership. So.
Okay. And anybody know about 92nd Street Y?
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to answer this properly. But I know the classes are part of the membership. So if you're a member, you can take any of the classes for free. And then we do have, I just looked it up quickly, the Hyman Brown Center, HIMAN Brown. They were doing like a silver sneaker-ish type program for seniors. I'm not like 100% sure if that's still a thing because of COVID, but if you look it up on the website, it'll give like the contact person information. So then you can reach out to them for more information. But just, I don't know 100%. Yeah.
That's okay. And do we know, does OATS charge?
Okay, Senator, yeah, seniorplanet.org. You can go on the link on the internet. It's free of charge. It's for senior adults. We have morning stretch every day from 10 to 10:30. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have an afternoon stretch from 4 to 4:30. There's also chair yoga. There's Tai Chi on Fridays. There's meditations on Thursdays. And there's a cardio strength training class on Mondays and Wednesdays. It's an hour long. So all these classes are free. You can just link into seniorplanet.org and check out upcoming events. And there's lots of events there. Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone know about specific programs or classes relating to what you do for people with Alzheimer's?
The only program that I'm familiar with is at the Lenox Hill Senior Center. There is a special day treatment program for people who are experiencing Alzheimer's. And I don't know to what extent they might offer exercise or meditation.
Several of the senior centers do have Alzheimer's programs, which I'm not sure are operating right now because of COVID. But you're right, those would be places I would look as soon as we get back to letting people into senior centers again.
Yes.
Part of the catch-22. Okay, let's go to our nutritionists, if you don't mind. Do seniors need to eat more protein than they did before they were older?
Yeah, this is a question that I get pretty commonly. And there's no one size fits all answer, just like most things in nutrition. However, it's not that seniors or aging adults need to have more protein. It's that because of those barriers that we touched on, maybe your appetite is decreased, you're having sensory changes, that you need to focus on getting an adequate amount of protein. So more often than not, people tend to eat less and less as they get older. So just making sure you're trying to incorporate those nutrient dense options that we talked about throughout the day, so that you get almost the same amount of protein that you were once getting, but you have to make more of a concerted effort to meet that same amount. So it's not more protein. And in some cases, if there are individuals who have decreased kidney function, we actually recommend not having more protein. So it's just about getting an adequate amount, but more isn't always better. It just may be more compared to what you've been eating for a little while. And then if you have questions, specifically to your particular, health status, it's always good to check in with, your primary care physician or a dietitian, so they can work with you on a plan that works best for what your needs are, because everyone's protein needs are different and they change throughout your life. So it's no one size fits all, but it's about getting the adequate amount.
Thank you. we have a second question for you. And I think you're probably going to need to know more in order to answer correctly, but what kinds of food should I eat to reduce inflammation in my body? And
Yeah.
it's not saying what's causing the inflammation. So that's, I think, a little bit of a challenge.
You're absolutely right, Senator Krueger. That's a difficult question to answer without more background information about any one particular individual or what's causing the inflammation. And inflammation is actually a very general word, and there could be a lot of different markers in our body that show different kinds of inflammation. In general, something we touched on in the presentation is really trying to shoot for a variety of foods in your diet, and that'll really cover all your bases. So if you are having half a plate of vegetables, think of all the vitamins and minerals you're getting from those vegetables. And if you're always having a protein on your plate, think of all the, the nutrients you're getting there. It's going to help your B12 absorption. If you're having, spinach throughout the day, and you're adding, and vitamin C and spinach help work together to increase like your iron absorption from the spinach. So if you're having enough of those combinations of nutrients, you're going to be less likely to face, chronic disease issues that are related to nutrition. And for that, we can be talking about issues with blood sugar control, hypertension, elevated triglycerides. So really, inflammation is a very common word. And if we're eating in the right proportions, we're getting enough micronutrients, then that automatically helps us. Certain individuals, if you are interested in more homeopathic or Eastern medicine options, there aren't any approved necessarily like FDA regulated minerals or supplements. However, if you are having difficulty, it's getting everything you can from food, you can always take supplements such as a multivitamin or vitamin C, vitamin E, or calcium, or if you're having difficulty getting enough protein or in calories, there are oral nutrition supplements by companies like Nestle and Abbott. They make Ensure and Boost, or Glucerna. So those are also options that you can look into just to make sure you're meeting your nutrient needs. Some other ones we hear about are like turmeric and ginger. For the most part, those don't cause any harm, so you can try, but there's no guarantees in any which way that it'll bring down overall inflammation.
Thank you. So we already just went through a number of types of exercise that involve yoga and stretching and just lower impact, but I think very clearly targeted for older people and adjusting to what you're doing so you don't hurt yourself. But I have a person here asking, what about aerobics and strength training? Are these okay things for seniors to be doing also?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, ladies first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I work with a lot of seniors, and absolutely, those are good things to be doing. For aerobics, I focus on low impact, as that means keeping the feet on the floor, and also using light weights, resistance bands. There are many options that you can use, but those are really important components of a healthy fitness program. And so I would encourage everyone to consider those. Yes.
Okay. And Kaz?
Yeah, I've been teaching for the last year and a half since COVID, this class called Fit Fusion, and we do incorporate cardio and strength training. We start with 15 minutes of cardio, just modified exercises for seniors, and we do some stretching. I add some upbeat music. I also use rock and roll, 50s, 60s. And then after the stretching, after the warm up, we do exercises with the dumbbells, with the resistance bands. We use a cane. There's a variation. They can check that out. And at the end, we always do a mild stretch and a little bit of breathing at the end. So it's an hour-long class for adults.
And also core, really working the core is very important. Another component that needs to be included. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So this actually is for Madeline involving meditation. Person wants to know, should they use a meditation app? And is there any particularly good ones that you would recommend?
I think the meditation apps are really wonderful resources for all of us. It can be very challenging, I think, to sort of approach a meditation practice all by oneself, in one's living room. There are a number of different apps, and anticipating this question, I sort of looked around to see if there would be some apps that could be recommended. Some of these have free services, others are subscription services, but some of the apps that are getting good reviews are Calm, which I think many people have maybe seen advertised on television. Headspace has a meditation and sleep component that offers meditation practices. Another is Simple Habit, which is really sort of designed for people that are busier, maybe want like a 5-minute meditation practice. And then something called 10% Happier is another app that might be considered. It'd be worth sort of checking these out and see if any of them kind of resonate and make sense for you.
Can I add one?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I'm a meditator. I've been meditating for a long time. I use Insight Timer. I've been a member since 2014, and I find it very interesting. It's a free app, and they've got lots of courses and live events, guided meditations, and it keeps the statistics of your meditation. So it's pretty good. You could get a chance to meet other people from other countries. You can see how many people are meditating with you around the world, those who are, who have the app. It's called Insight Timer. So I recommend that one also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so then another meditation question, is it better to meditate in the morning or in the evening before bed? But I wonder if you're doing that 10% happier, if you get 20% if you do it twice a day.
I think we should talk to their marketing people about that.
Okay, fine. Is it better to do it one time a day versus another?
I think that certainly if you feel like meditating more than once a day, then that's wonderful in terms of building your practice. I think generally morning is considered the better time to meditate because the mind is sort of fresh and clear. And also people that I think regularly meditate, and Cass, you might want to join in on this one. Just often find that it's a lovely way to sort of set the tone for the day and to center oneself before moving into what the day will bring. So I think mornings sort of get the major, give you the major benefit, but certainly meditating again in the evenings, it would be a lovely practice as well.
Yes, I totally agree 100%. The morning is the best time. And if you do get a chance to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, they say it's a very auspicious moment to meditate at that time because everything is quiet, there's a magic at that time. It's not, you can meditate anytime, but I'm just saying 5, 4 in the morning, it's already, and you could go back to bed if you wish, but do your meditation. Yeah.
Okay, one final question here. If you were diagnosed as pre-diabetic because of being overweight, would insurance cover that? And does Mount Sinai have dietitians that would help? And is that insurance covered? I don't know if you actually know that. I guess it depends on the insurance plan.
Yeah, so if, again, Medicare Part B, from what I understand, does help in coverage that, and it's everyone gets a certain number of minutes or sessions that add up to a certain amount of hours with a dietitian. Pre-diabetes, and that's if you have a diagnosis of diabetes. Pre-diabetes, I'm not as sure about, so I don't want to give any false information. But Mount Sinai still, even if if insurance doesn't cover it, or I would say call your insurance first and foremost to see what they can and cannot cover. You'd be surprised at how much information you can get just by making an appointment, going in, see what information you can get, even if it's just if it's not meeting with a dietitian, certain pamphlets or other resources that an office may be able to provide for you. And I believe in the chat here, there is a link to those outpatient clinics that you can make an appointment at. There's a Kravis Center. We have an endocrinology clinic. So both of those would be good resources for anyone who wants more support with that. But with anything that we're talking about, and I think this is just kind of an appendix response to any of the questions, really, whether we're talking, meditation, physical fitness, nutrition. All of these things are, small changes are sustainable changes. So I wouldn't say you have to wake up tomorrow and do A, B, C, D, E, F, G all at once. You choose something that's going to be healthful for you and you try and practice that and you add as you go. So, you don't have to wake up tomorrow and make 10 different doctor appointments or 10 different classes. But, as you go, small changes are sustainable changes. And there are always resources out there for whatever changes you choose to make.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank all of my wonderful presenters today, Abby, Pratya, Kaz, Dalit, and Madeline. So appreciate your coming and sharing your expertise with us. I hope that you can all join us tomorrow for our second Senior Resource Fair session. It will be Wednesday, October 20th from 2 to 3, and it's about pets are family. And we have assembled a wonderful group of experts to help you decide if owning a pet is the right answer for you, and if it is, how to keep your pet healthy, well-behaved, and looking great. And Abby's advertising for me for tomorrow. That's a big cat. Perfect timing. And then our third and final virtual session for our Senior Resource Fair is going to be on Thursday, the following day, October 21st from 2 to 3:30. And it's going to be on arts, continuing education, and technology. And again, I just remind you, we have updated our Senior Resource Guide for this year. 21-22 edition is now available. And pretty much everything people ask us questions about, we have found some resources that we put in this guide on those topics. So the newer guide has an expanded selection of resources on aging in place, healthcare, food benefits and assistance, transportation, and endless other topics. And thank you, young interns who helped so much with researching and updating the resource guide for us. And you can request a copy. You can both find it online on my webpage, but you can also request a hard copy by calling my office or emailing us at lkrueger@nysenate.gov or at our office number 212-490-9535. So those of you interested in pets, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. And those of you more interested in the arts and continuing education, maybe I'll see you Thursday, or maybe we'll spend the whole week together. Who knows? Anyway, thank you again so much for your participation today, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.